Chelsea vs Crystal Palace player rating. Robert Sanchez. How else would you rate a goalkeeper that didn't concede and actually kept a clean sheet today? It was actually important. He actually did some important saves. So I would rate him a 7.5 over 10. Is James the captain? He was actually solid defensively, offered some attacking support and composure. Although they played the ball too safe. He was too safe with his passing. He didn't take the risk passing he used to. So I would give him a 7 over 10 because he did well and he didn't concede. Josh Achepong, what a player. The guy stepped into Levi Corio's position seamlessly. And in the beginning of the second half, you could see the way he was, the way he manned the defense, and the way he held the ball. This guy is very good, he's confident, and a befitting man of the match award for him. Very calm, strong, and big claim for his starting role whenever Kobe comes back. Trevor Chalobah didn't do much wrong, didn't do anything wrong. He was actually very reliable and disciplined in the back line. Very good on the ball, but the problem I have with him, same with James, was they kept playing the ball too safe. There were no pinpoint long accurate passes that could break the lines. So that's why I would just rate him a 7. Marco Correa, well, he actually did burst forward, but at some point in time, he looked lost in the front line. At some point in time, he didn't know where to pass to. He just kept running, he kept doing all he could, and although defensively they didn't concede, but of the offensive part, this is not the Marco Correa we've seen in recent time with Chelsea. He was not really creative offensively, so I would rate him also a 7 because his primary role is to defend, not to attack. So I would rate him a 7. Enzo Fernandez, he really did well, but he was lost in the midfield. And one of the reasons why he was actually lost was because Endo thrives when he throws long balls. But then with the way Crystal Palace played, they sat deep, giving him much difficulty because Enzo is not really the kind of player that passes short passes. He's the kind of player that can pick out player with long passes, long accurate passes much. So I would rate him a 6.5. Moses Caicedo. This guy is a living machine. This guy was compacted throughout the game. For every time Mateta feels like it's almost free, whenever he turns, he's always seeing Caicedo. Caicedo actually did pin down Mateta. He really did well around him. And just like always, Caicedo is a beast. This guy can mark anything. That's why they call him the young Claude Makaleli. So I would rate him a 7.5 because this guy is just something else in that middle of the park. Pedro Neto. Well, there isn't much to talk about Pedro because we didn't really see much of him. This is not the Pedro we saw in the World Club Cup, and it's not his fault. The Chelsea team generally, they did not perform like what we saw in the World Cup, and that's why Neto himself was lost. He actually did try. He had some pace, some whiff, but the end product was zero in this game. And you can't really blame him because Chelsea didn't really perform together as a team. Cole Palmer, this was a player I had high hopes coming into this game for. He really did. With the way he performed in the World Cup and the finals against PSG, I was expecting so much from him in this game, but then he is now a victim of his own standard because he looked lost. He was just running everywhere. He was unable to pick the line-breaking passes we used to see from Cole Palmer. Although once at a time, whenever he gets the ball, it looks dangerous to do one of those things. But because the Crystal Palace defense were too thick and too compact, gave him serious problems. And because of this, I would rate Palmer a 6.5. Jeremy Gittins, he was actually electric. You could see that he was threatening at times, but he was actually kept quiet and was largely unproductive because this kind of player thrives when you are playing against a team that is open to counter-attacks. But Crystal Palace are so deep that you could not even see much of Gittins. Whenever he gets the ball, you could see Munoz always on him, attached to him, or Lacroix attached to him. So they made life very difficult for Gittins. And that's just to tell you how solid the Crystal Palace defense was. So I will give Gittins a 6.0. Joao Pedro. This is a guy that came into this game with 5 goals in 5 games. So I expected so much from him also. But then what can he do when he wasn't provided the ball, the deadly balls that we've seen him capitalize on during this preseason and the World Cup? He wasn't offered too much space. Each time he gets on the ball, you can see the Crystal Palace defense, clustering on him. It's also difficult because the line-breaking passes that will also make him excel were not coming in from Cole Palmer or Enzo Fernandez or Caicedo. So it made life very difficult for him. He couldn't do anything. So I would rate Joao Pedro a 6.0. Esteban Willian, oh boy, this guy immediately he came on. You could see that this guy had some promising talent in him. Immediately he came on, he was almost about to in fact, he created a chance for the Chelsea team. The way he breezed past Gueye. Gueye could not believe his eyes. He was gasping for his breath. This guy has something in him, and I would love to see more of this Esteban. I would love to see more of him. And it looked dangerous, and it was at least some kind of wasteful at the same time. So I would rate him also a 7 because Liam Delap, we all knew he was always going to be a backup to Joao Pedro, and when he came on, he added some physicality presence, and he nearly scored. He almost just did score. If he had scored that goal, it would have been a very effective sub, but it didn't happen. So I would also rate him a 6.0. Malagosto came on defensively, cover, he tried a minimal attacking contribution as usual. You are today not as usual because it was very effective against PSG. And then Andre Santos, he actually brought on some energy in him, you could see, and had a big chance. Oh God, and he couldn't finish it. So this is my rating for the Chelsea team. Overall, the Chelsea team themselves were below par today. It was so below par. They didn't play as to the expectation of all the Chelsea fans. And then based on the World Cup glory, you could have expected more from the Chelsea team, but with what we saw today, they didn't really give us much like we saw in the World Cup. Hopefully the next game we're going to see them spark up and then see them win their first game of the campaign. However, there is still much work to do. It's not going to be a walk in the park for the Chelsea team. The earlier they know this, the better for them. So, till next time, see you again. Bye. If you did enjoy this rating, please like and subscribe and share this. It's Goal Legend.